Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSi DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm your host, Mike 31. Pocono Race, guess I could kind of call it my home track. I live just a little bit northwest of Scranton, so about an hour and a half outside of where the track is. Nice thing is, I know you heard about the heat wave all over the United States, and where we are here, it's only going to be about 80 there today at the track. The humidity is still going to be up there a little bit, maybe a chance of pop-up showers, but everything should be able to get in. A little frustrated with NASCAR because I just like, why can't we at least have an Xfinity practice on Friday so we have a little bit of data to go by? So, complete speculation race. This race was a little bit later last year. It was in July after actually the Chicago street race. But we're here and let's go through and look at it. And I kind of wish the other thing too is like I'm doing a speculation video. Like Michigan's a great comparable track, but Xfinity didn't run there. It was Truck and Cup recently. So I looked at last year's data and some other historic data, hopefully point us in the right direction. So um, looking at my model here, and again, these projections are based on speculation. If you want the real sheet, go to FSi DFS, and you can be able to hook you up with that. It's really cheap. Description of the video, and just also just go into the description of the video and look for the Discord link too, because what I've been doing also is if I didn't have a video like Truck, it was just impossible for me to get out with the timing of the qualifying and the practice and the short window is I'll throw the sheet sometimes in one of the rooms of our Discord that's absolutely free. It's called NASCAR Pool. So join there, and if I don't have video out, then it can help you get some content for free. So, okay, so looking here, Zilich looks like a good one to potentially get the pole here and potentially be the dominator. And I think that's probably a solid play here. He didn't run the race last year here, so but I'm really not. I mean, last year in looking at who was did the best, it was kind of like the usual suspects. There was nothing that really like shocked me and surprised me. Custer won the race. Allgaier was second. Byron in the 17 was third. Sheldon Creed fourth. Taylor Gray fifth. AJ Allmendinger sixth. Austin Hill seventh. Parker Kligerman eighth. Sammy Smith ninth, and Sam Mayer 10th. The only one that kind of surprised me and mildly concerned me was Jesse Love had a pretty mad day. I think he started 19th, finished 22nd. So, and this is I mean, Zillage is experienced enough that I think he'll be okay here. I know it's sort of some of the Truck Series drivers kind of struggled with like the configuration of the track and the triangle, and there's one driver that kept on commenting at each lap, like, wow, he's really getting really close to that safe barrier. He's getting really close. And then, like, 3 laps later, into the safe barrier. So there's that. But I think Zillage will be fine. Allgaier definitely is probably somebody that's, if he starts further on down, it's going to be a prime play because of how well he's run here, his experience on the track, and just overall program and driver talent, things like that. Gray output is an upside down. We just see him really qualify well, but not necessarily be able to finish off races as well. Yeah, or get snaked in, has an issue or something. So, going to leave him as a GPP upside. Quaffle, again, someone that qualifies well, but I don't even think that I can consider him a dominator. I Would it surprise me if if he qualifies in the top five and ends up in the top 10? No, but I just don't feel there's a floor there unless he is like by far looks like the most dominant car in practice and has like really good long run speed. Sammy Smith and Mayer, like I said last year, they did pretty good getting top tens, both of them here, ninth and 10th respectively. So I think that they have the potential to maybe be dominators depending on how they get up there. And they should have top 10 finish, solid day. But I think they're more of a GPP play, or if you're rotating through dominators, then a primary cash play. Hill, I like here. Just looking at his history and stuff. Seventh, started 11th, and led 1 lap last year. Your lap leaders last year were Custer, Allgaier, and Byron. So there's about 3 dominators, but the majority of there's not a ton of laps of this track because it's like it's an intermediate track, but it's it's oh, they don't run a ton, so it's not like a short track where you can have like a ton of dominator points to look at. Let me just look up quick how many laps that we have. About 100 laps. So I mean, it's not like short track where you have 300 or 400 laps there. So there are some dominator points, and you probably want to capitalize on them. So we're probably looking at two dominators, and like last year, Custer 25 and Algar. What we saw with the truck race, and what we might see here too, is that this turns into a fuel mileage race sometimes, and nobody ran out because they're like late cautions. They were able to all go in and get gas, and it was an issue for anyone, I believe. But if it does stay green towards the end, it can turn into a fuel mileage, and then you have people that try to get cute and like split the stage, and it's a little bit different than short pitting. It's trying to pit so that you can time it stay out longer than your competitors, but get it so that you can maybe eliminate a pit stop during the course of the race to hold track position. So we might see some of that. But all these drivers that I've talked about so far are all going for points, and some of them when that were I don't know how many races. There's like four truck races. I think there's like six Xfinity races left before the playoffs. So we're starting to get there. And we're starting to get to the point where if these people are not in the hunt for the playoffs, then they might need to start saying prioritizing giving stage points over having to go out there and try to get the win. Now, obviously, the win's the best case scenario because it puts you right in the playoffs. But let's see here. We got Pocono, Echo Park, Chicago Street Race, Sonoma, Drivers Park, Indianapolis. I guess we, because Xfinity's they go around to 12. Yeah, we got till September. I got plenty of races left before we have to worry about the playoffs. So I don't even think that's going to factor in, but it still does. So to a degree, so you'll still see people stay out there for stage points. The truck, it's a little bit more sense of urgency. So sorry about that, Rampa. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the most accurate information. So now we come to Chase Elliott. Now Chase Elliott is a Cup driver. He's in a great car here, and it could be a prime play if he starts deep in the field. Definitely, but Chase has one win in the Cup Series at Pocono, but his average finish is like 13.5. So not spectacular. It's not like he's been like super dominant at this track. I don't think he's out here running this track to get more experience. I don't think that's necessary. I think they just have a rotation of who drives this Hendrick car for advertising and Xfinity to try to get it. Like maybe next year they'll have it won't be an all-star car, but with all the drivers' points and everything, or the owners' points and everything, they'll be able to like qualify and go to races because they ran into that with I think a couple years back where they had like some of the quick drivers wanted to come down, but then if they had like mechanical issue or something, couldn't qualify, then they risked not being able to get into the race. But that was back when you had more like cars like trying to enter. Here we have exactly 38, so everybody should be able to get in. But Chase Elliott, I have to see what's going on with him here. Do I take like a Hill or Zilich if he's like up there on the pole and looks like he could go out there and be like an early dom before like maybe Algar gets there? And I talked about the three king lineup trying to get like three people. Like I think there's enough value in the primes. The primes I put in the mid range though too because like I just I don't know if the race goes really long, like I said, it's a longer track. But we did see in almost at one of the end of the stages in the truck race to catch up to the back of the field and maybe start to put some drivers down a couple laps. With the Xfinity stages being a little bit longer, I'm not super concerned like it is on a short track, but that is kind of in the back of my mind. So I just want to make sure that if I'm taking these value plays that they're gonna come out. And so yeah, Elliott we definitely have to consider. Sanchez I think could be a cash play. He's 78. Obviously the team with a different driver did very well here last year. I think the team understands the track and the setup and everything. So uh, unless he looks bad in practice, I think he's good. Jesse Love, I'm putting the GPP in unless I see a marked improvement in practice and qualifying over what we saw last year. Swalich, same thing, seems to be in a little bit of a um, not a funk, but the Gibbs car, it's good. Like we'll have to see where things pan out, but I just don't feel it has he's had the chance floor I've been looking for recently. I just prefer like so many other drivers over him via pricing or via experience here. Creed, I think I usually have him as GPP. Like here's where like the flop might happen. Like Creed is usually solid, but can be volatile, boom or bust. So, and if Swalch looks better, I might take the GPP tag off. I like to give between 10 to a dozen like cash plays because I don't want to like oversaturate the field, but I want to make sure that there's enough for you to build like a lineup in different ways you want to. With some with value cash fill-ins, some with like mid-range fill-ins, some with upper cash fill-ins. So between Creed and Swallows, this tag might switch. I'll just have to see how they do in practice. Brandon Jones, I'm gonna give him the cash one. He's another one like Creed that's kind of like iffy, boom or bust. There's certain tracks that are Brandon Jones tracks, there's certain that aren't. I do feel that this is kind of a Brandon Jones track. He ran the truck race yesterday, did a very good job in it. Was in the top five like most of the day. So I think he understands the track, and I think that and this Gibbs car here that he could be kind of a sleeper here. And if he qualifies up higher, he might even get like one of the Dominator tags. Metti Benedetto, I think that he's going to, this is too far forward for him qualifying. Like if he's like 20th on back, I think he's a great play. Maybe even consider him as a prime play because a lot of experience here. The track understands it. Bonsignor, every race he's come out and raced in these good cars, he's been solid. Again, I kind of worry a little bit about not knowing the track, but I think that he's a driver that assimilates well to different conditions. And once he gets out there and gets the kind of the hang of it and practice, that he'll be fine in the race. So I think he's a 10K driver upside. Jeb Burton, he's had a solid year, struggled a little bit here last year, nothing like really spectacular. Kind of finished where he started in the 20s. We started 17th, finished 21st. So at 6,800 is one of the more expensive mid-range cash plays, and maybe that has a little bit of upside, a little bit of floor there, but I think GPP here. Clements is always run well at this track, not like spectacular. It's not going to be like a top 10 or anything, but someone that you definitely knows the track and should be solid. I think he finished like 24th last year. So we know the Clement rule. If he starts like 20th on down, then play him. He's got floor for cash. Harrison Burton should have some upside. He's run the track in Cup and Xfinity before and has been decent. So I think that he could be a cash play here. And he's been pretty solid recently also. I think this was the right move for him to move down. I think he's found a nice home down here. AMM Racing, like he's gotten a lot out of this car where like last year, I know Haley Deegan was in it, but they even when Logano and some other Ford drivers dropped down, they just didn't have the results. Some of the races, I know some of the races they did do well, but I think that maybe a bigger Ford team I don't think Haas is gonna drop like Creed or Mayer, but um and I don't think he's going to see. So he's kind of stuck. I don't think he's going to switch manufacturers, but we'll see. Maybe if he continues to do well here, that maybe um Haas puts another car out there or something else. We'll see. You know, it'd be really cool if they brought back the Penske too. I kind of miss that one, the one that Austin Cindric used to run. Um, but with the issues that they've had with cheating and stuff in Indianapolis, I don't know if that's on the table anymore. But we'll see. Anyways, back to the race. Honeyman, this Cope car, like Honeyman, we used to call him Moneyman, but this Cope car hasn't been as like heck solid as he has in his rides like last year. So fade for now, but could be a cash or GPP play depending on where he starts and how qualifying looks or practice looks. Perkins has been solid, cash floor there. Ellis, GPP, and this DGM one. Sam Hunt Racing, solid program. Dean Thompson, 72. Again, it's a kind of a mid-range play here. I prefer die, but depending on where Thompson like starts in comparison to Die. If Die's like starts up in like top 15 and like Thompson starts like 26, then obviously Thompson's gonna get the prime time going. I was looking for something in the 7K range. Those were the two options. So it all depends on which one starts. lower down and unless they look like a turtle in practice, then I might change my mind there. Alfredo ran really well here last year. I don't feel confident putting the cash tag on him, but I think I'm going to consider him the 10K driver. He's got some experience out there, so he's run the track before, knows what to expect. Wright's been solid as a punt play at 54, so I have the cash tag on him. He's not going to start 24th. My model's a little bit off here. He should be feeling down the field. Lucky GPP to fade, like he's a road course guy. Should be okay here, but not super excited. Joey Gase cars, I don't really play. I just worry about the tech, especially on a track like this, where they have to go over the tunnel turn. It's a little bumpy. I could see them like dropping an axle or something. Um, So Prime's here, Dye's been solid, Colleague's been good, and Ryan Sieg, I'm starting far down here. If he's starting up close to the top, then obviously the Prime play is going to come off of him and not to somebody else. But if he does he hasn't qualified super well at Pocono. If I'm looking at the data right, so I was thinking that he might have some place differential upside there. He knows the track, so he's good. Where again, I don't play Joey Gase cars, um, especially in cash. Patrick Emmerling. I have him as a 10K one because he ran the truck race, and yes, he was in really good equipment in one of the Spire trucks. And this then goes back to an SNS Greenlight one, but I think they'd be okay. But like, he did really well in the truck race. I was very impressed that he was able to kind of hang up there. He finished 15th after starting 10th, but he was up in the top 10. I think he got like shuffled out like during like one event and got like moved back. There was I think it was when who was it that wrecked? Oh, Jake Garcia. I think that like shuffled him back, but he was up there top 10 flirting with the top five, like had a solid run. So obviously the talent's there if he's got good equipment. So if you take the equipment into factor here, I think he's got some upside. I wouldn't play him in cash, but I think that if he did so well out there in the track, if he can emulate that in this car, it's probably not going to be a 15th place finish. But if you can get 10 place differential points for you at that price tag, then that's a great bargain. Josh Williams has some floor here, should be pretty solid again. If he's same thing as kind of same rule as Clement. If he starts 25th on back, then he has the cash floor. Cool, same thing. Another solid play, saves $400 off of Williams. Cram and this my Carmen car. Would be like the the first one out. We saw that with some of the lesser teams. They didn't make it that far, like Delzo and Benning and I think Dennison only made it a few laps. So a lot of these lesser cars, like I don't want to say that this was like a start and park situation at Pocono for these trucks, but it's a track where it can destroy some inferior vehicles. So that's why I'm not touching him. Smithley, I think is GPP here. Again, I like Emmerling better, but um, Smithley is okay. I guess like he hasn't been qualifying well, and he has been pretty solid this season. So I think that he's usually has a floor upside. So he's my final prime play. Again, this all could change. So when we see practice and qualifying, rest laps to GPP just so boomer bust. Kyle Sieg has been solid for a cash play also, and then Mason Messi. I have him as a fade here. If he starts dead last, maybe I would consider him as a GPP or a cash play. Alpha Prime's a good team, but Massey just hasn't gotten the results in it. So that's what I got for you. Again, I'll just kind of go through the field. You just kind of want known commodities here. That's what I'm looking for, and I'll probably try to get two dominators in, but I will settle for a dominator and like a Chase Elliott or a Smith or a Mayer or anybody that's up here in the um, top eight that I have besides Quaffle. So of these seven drivers, if anybody looks like a great place differential play, then I will spend up. I mean, it changes the game if it's Gray or Smith because like the 8K pricing, but the higher priced ones up here, like I'm probably going either two DOMs from them or a place differential. one out of them, and then I'm going to probably either go balance or value whatever I need to finish off my line. So yeah, for your questions, boom, chat below, hit me at MegaRow31 on Twitter/X, or get into the FSi Discord. The link is into the description of the video, and go into the NASCAR pool. And when I'm done answering questions and giving out the content to the paid room, then I usually pop in there and see if anybody needs a little bit of help. So what I got for you, cup video will be out tonight. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. It didn't post last. And then it was in the afternoon. Somebody's like, "You doing a video for cup?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I went to go send them the link and I saw it didn't post. So I'm so sorry. It was really good stuff for the Mexico City race. And I feel bad. And it's the first video that didn't hit over 1,000 views for cup of the season because it wasn't out long enough, but it still had like a couple hundred. So hopefully you're able to see that. But if you don't see a video for Cup ever, soon, like probably by like 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning, then somebody give me a shout out and I'll get it set out for you. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. Hope you have an amazing weekend. And if these videos help us back, like, subscribe to the channel, and share your friends.